another Launching Life's Journeys podcast powered by Heartland RV. But guess what, folks? An all-new special road trip series with the queen of road trips, Miss Brandy Gleason, also best-selling author. Today, we have Adria Bergeron. She is from the Muskingum Watershed Conservancy District. Takes a minute to say, but they are very powerful in what they give in the great state of Ohio. For all of you that are maybe a little confused, I made it real simple. They are all things recreation, conservation, and flood reduction in the state of Ohio, from Medina to Washington South and Richland to east to Carroll County, which encompasses of about 8,000 miles. Adria, welcome to the Launching Life's Journeys podcast special series with the queen of road trips, Miss Brandy Gleason.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here with you both today.
Awesome. So the first question I want to ask, as I maybe eloquently isn't the word, but I attempted to say what Muskingum is all about. How about would you put it in your words to let all of our audience know?
So I will give you the really quick, short version of our history, which is that back in 1913, there was the Great Flood, caused loss of life, land, just very devastating to the region. So as a result of that, in the 1930s, the Muskingum Watershed Conservancy District was formed. It's a series of dams that have lakes on them. And in the 50s and 60s, they started to become a really great destination for outdoor recreation, including camping, boating, fishing, hiking, hunting, all kinds of great outdoor recreation opportunities. And so as a result, we have fabulous campgrounds, we have cabins, and we have all kinds of great opportunities for you to come and enjoy the lakes that, again, they're here for flood control first and foremost, but at the end of the day, they're just really great opportunities for you to come out and enjoy nature.
That's awesome. And I think that you should be honored because as we started this special series with the best-selling author, Brandy Gleason, you guys are featured in the 100 Things to Do in Ohio Amish Country book that she authored. And guess who was chosen to be the first guest? Well, you. So obviously, Muskingum means a lot to you, Brandy. Why did you want them on first and foremost to start our special series in the state of Ohio?
So when I started researching my book, I found Pleasant Hill Marina, which I found out was part of the Muskingum Watershed District. And I had no idea that this even existed in our state of Ohio. I'm a travel writer. That's shameful. But I found something out. And so I began this journey of finding out, where are they located? What do they have to offer? What am I going to do? And how am I going to get there as fast as possible? And so that's how I found out about them. And then I am taking over the Heartland RV's rallies in Ohio. And because of my new love for this wonderful thing, they are my first destination to host our rally this coming August.
Yay! And we're so honored to do that. I'm so glad, Brandy. I just am, I think you're gonna have a great time.
That's awesome. So why don't we kind of peel the onion, as I always say. 8,000 square miles. You guys are a huge portion of your entire state of Ohio. How about we just introduce some of the folks to some, you don't have to say the whole list, but some of the very popular lakes that are within the Muskingum Watershed area.
So obviously we've mentioned Pleasant Hill, and that's up in the Loudonville, Perrysville, Ohio area, and not that far away is Charles Mill. I will tell you, one of the things that makes our campgrounds unique, I will say, or destinations, is people a lot of times are steered one direction or another based on the horsepower limit at each lake. So that really kind of gives you a vibe and a feel. So those two lakes are at both ends of the spectrum. Pleasant Hill Lake Park has an unlimited horsepower, and Charles Mill has a horsepower limit of 10. So as you can imagine, you kind of have water sports, fast things at Pleasant Hill, versus Charles Mill is more kayaking, sailboating, pontoon boats. So that's the biggest thing that gives you the variety at the different lakes and kind of gives them their character. And then if you move on down, Atwood Lake Park, which is located just south of Canton, is a huge destination for a lot of people coming from the north. I think Brandy has stayed there as well. So that was another really popular location. That has a horsepower limit of 25. We have Leesville, Piedmont, and Clendening all have a horsepower limit of 10. So again, keeping things really slow. Fishing is fabulous. great locations for kayaking and hiking. And then we have Seneca and Tappan with the horsepower limit of 399. So kind of gives you that higher horsepower, jet skis, water skiing,
Yeah.
tubing, all that kind of fun stuff. So really depends on what you're looking for as to which lake you might want to check out.
Yeah, and I think, you made a really good point. As we know, campers are as diverse as their own life's journeys. And so really, simply put to me, the Muskingum Watershed basically gives everybody the opportunity for everything that they want. So if you are somebody that, wants to have the boat with the kids and you want to do, the what's the new thing that's doing now, like wakeboarding and all that, you have that within your region. And then if you want, more of a low key, peaceful serenity type setting, you've got that too. So I think that your guys' region really encompasses every type of camper that's going to be there. Brandy, where did you choose to have the rally and why did you choose that location?
So we chose the Pleasant Hill Lake Campground because it is one of the faster lakes. It has beautiful views, great hiking, super close to Amish country, so much to do. Wineries, breweries, great restaurants. There's a farm to table restaurant super close called Black Fork Bistro. I mean, it's just a great area to go to. They also have updated their campsites at a lot of the watershed districts. So this campground actually has updated brand new concrete pads, 50 amp service. I mean, when you get there, you do not feel like you're in like a watershed district. You feel like you're at a bougie campground. I mean, this one is amazing. I will add, even though we're talking about RVing, they have cabins that are really nice that I've been trying to go to for like 2 years with hot tubs in them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they have so much to do. So when I picked this one, it had a lot of things that I wanted to check mark. They also have something called Wee Bits, and it is
Bits?
Yeah, it's an inflatable water park for kids out on the lake.
Oh.
Okay, and kids at heart, because you'll probably see me out on it.
That's awesome. And so, when it comes to, the campgrounds, obviously, too, and you're right, Brandy, by no means is the Launching Life Journeys podcast tied to just RVs. We know that there's been an emergence of yurts or erts. I don't know if I say that one right. Obviously, cabin stays, and that's obviously throughout, the 8,000 mile region of Muskingum Watershed. The other thing I want to ask, too, is when it comes to campgrounds, a lot of people, Adria, they want to find centralized easy access. Hey, where do I go and get my information? And a lot of times, as I've learned and being around people that are with Brandy, they'll say, Google is great to just find a point or clarify an exact location we're going, but it doesn't necessarily give us all the information that we're looking for when it comes to the amenities, the 50 amp service, etc. I've already looked through your website. But will you just, for the people that have not yet, as they're trying to write this down, Muskingum Watershed Conservancy District, what type of information do you and the team work to have on the website to give these prospective people all the information they're looking for?
Yeah, so first of all, our website is MWCD.org. So you don't have to worry about typing all the words out. It's just MWCD.org.
See, you're thinking of everything.
And when you go to our website, you can find under a tab that says Enjoy Our Lakes. And what you're going to find there is a list of all the different lakes that we have. Click on whichever one you're interested in finding. And from there, you can find out, you can go directly from there to book your reservation, first of all. And our reservations were unique in the sense that you can book your stay 340 days in advance. So almost a full year in advance, you can get those reservations made. As Brandy said, right around, ironically, right before COVID, we invested almost $200 million into our campgrounds to update and renovate all of them. So the 50 amp power, the concrete pads, the full hookup connections. So you can go to our website and find out where are those campsites. Obviously, those are the ones that usually book up first. That's what everyone is interested in finding. We have upgraded our amenities from our shower buildings and restrooms. We have fabulous pavilions that have breathtaking views. Either some of them are positioned up on top of a hill, some of them are right on the water. all of them with, great views of the lake and a place to recreate, enjoy your family, enjoy your friends that might be coming with you. Brandy mentioned she's doing the RV rally, so it's a great destination for you to come with a group of people as well if you want to really get out and enjoy the region together. But all of that information can be found on our website. Again, it's MWCD.org under Enjoy Our Lakes. You can pick which lake you want and go from there, and just lots of information, all of our hiking trails, just really, we have public hunting areas. So lots of great information you can find on our website.
And I'm going to just call you out on this because you're very humble, but I think that your guys' mission or approach is unlike any organization that I've spoken to throughout North America, and I'll say why. We were talking offline, and I had asked you, hey, how do you guys go about, getting funding? Do you look for donations where they put their name on a plaque of a tree? And you said, no. You guys have this focus of service to perpetuity, as I call it, because your whole goal is to get families to come to the Muskingum Watershed region, recreate, have memories for a lifetime, and that's it. So it's like the more that people come to this amazing area of waterways and hiking and hunting opportunities, the more people that just simply do that support your guys' mission to then again greater serve more people to continue to come. It's crazy, but I think it's an amazing approach, and credit to you and your team, because I think that's why, as I said in the intro, Brandy is very well known in hospitality outdoors, and for her to put you guys so high up there, it clearly reflects, the approach that you guys have taken. And it's been amazing to see you guys grow so quickly over the last few years, especially as I find out that CMT artists like Craig Morgan are coming to your region. Can we talk a little bit about that? How did that come to fruition? Is this something that you guys are looking to have more common to highlight this region of Ohio?
So, and I will just comment quickly, one of the opportunities that allowed us to invest in our parks were in desperate need of renovation. And so we were very fortunate to have the opportunity to partner with the oil and gas industry. And that allowed us to have that financial opportunity to make the upgrades that we have. So when we went through each individual park that we have, we looked at it and said, what does this one highlight? What does this one offer? So Atwood Lake Park is where Craig Morgan is going to be held. That one is our music and entertainment themed park, if you will. It has a beautiful, big natural amphitheater that it leans towards having concerts at that destination. So we had, how that came about was for several years, we had a partnership with a local radio station, and it was called a beach party, where we had a local band come out. We invited all the listeners from the radio station, all of our campers to come out, just have a really fun time right at the lake on the beach. And so through that partnership, we talked about, let's do something bigger, grander. And so that's how the Craig Morgan concert came about. So this is the first concert of that size that we're hosting at that park. Alive.org is a website you can check out if you're interested. They have a big festival that they have at Atwood Lake Park that's been happening for about 10 years. So that's been something where an outside vendor comes in and they host, it's a Christian music festival that happens. It's actually happening July 13 through 15 right now.
So starting today.
It started today, and their big highlight on Saturday night is Lauren Daigle is going to be featured on Saturday night out there. So that has been happening for about 10 years, but that again is where a third-party vendor comes in and hosts it, and we essentially rent the park out to Alive, and they take care of that. So Craig Morgan is going to be the first one that we've hosted on our own with the radio station, and we're hoping it's a huge success, and we're able to do more concerts of this nature in the future.
That's amazing. And Brandy, if you would just kind of obviously talk about your own experience. I mean, hosting, a rally and becoming our Ohio chapter host, is a big undertaking. And, you had communicated to me when I saw you at our national rally that the process had went so smoothly with Adria and her team. So can you just kind of talk about maybe some best case? So people that now are going, hey, I'm really excited. Adria made the website very easy. We went to MWCD. Maybe we want to have a rally or a group party here. Kind of talk about how easy it's been for you to work with the Muskingum Watershed team.
So they're very accommodating, like more accommodating than anyone I've ever worked with. Because I
Wow,
already
that's
have
awesome.
my destination for next year, and it's a private campground and not near as wonderful to work with. But well, they're great, but you know, you
Yes.
guys are amazing over there. So she was very, very helpful. We have a pavilion, like she said, the locations are perfect. You know, if you ask, they'll let you know if they have some indoor space if the weather is terrible. They're just hands and feet ready to make an event for you as perfect as you want it to be. I even asked, can we do like a guided hike? And it would have to be, you know, some of our rally people would maybe need a little more easier hike. And she's like, we can totally accommodate whatever you need.
That's awesome. And Adria, if you just have any kind of like best case scenarios, you know, we do talk to a lot of individual campgrounds that they get a chance to kind of highlight their location. And a lot of the feedback that I hear from, you know, the campground owners, and, you know, you would probably agree. First and foremost, when you become an RVer or you're just maybe a seasoned camper, the most important thing, two things I understand. One, you got to be a meteorologist. And two, you know, planning out is so paramount just because you're receiving so many inbound calls. So if just, you know, I know, again, you guys will do everything you can to accommodate everybody. But to just help you and your team the best, attention, all of our listeners, let's not procrastinate here. When would you recommend, if they have a group of 50 or more, when would be a good time to reach out to you guys and start that planning process? Do you say like a year out, 2 years out, just to give some context to our listeners that are maybe thinking about hosting an event there?
Really, the most important thing is going to be, we want to keep your group together.
Okay.
And we, you know, it can be difficult if you're, you know, I think when Brandy and I originally started working, it's like we want to hurry up as quickly as we can and get all of the campsites together on hold. So
Okay.
that way we have the opportunity to keep your group together and you're not kind of intermixed with people who are like, what's happening this weekend? You know, I just came with my family and now I'm kind of, there's a big group around us. So the earlier that you can do that, again, 340 days is when anyone can go online and book a campsite. So if you could have a year notice, definitely call us. That way we can kind of really start to fine tune and figure out what it is you're looking for. And if we're able to accommodate your group and put those sites on hold so that way you can stay together, that's really the biggest piece of advice I would have.
Okay.
And we have park managers at every location, and I will tell you, they're great people. They have a great staff that work for them, and so they will do whatever they can. Like Brandy said, if we're adding a hike for you, if we're adding a movie under the stars for you, we can try to do some things to really make your visit with your group memorable. And especially too, because you've got all different ages. You've got some people that are, you know, family unit, or you've got some grandparents, maybe they're traveling with grandkids, maybe they're not. So you kind of have all ends of the spectrum. And we have staff on hand that can usually make some really special things to provide it for your group and ensure that you have a really good time while you're visiting our lake.
And I think that's great that we just take a minute to share with those people that like to plan like Brandy. Let's take the other spectrum, people like me that don't have a planning seed within them. And they just say, hey, I don't want to host anything. I don't want that responsibility, but I just want to have a good time. You already had mentioned, you got the Alive thing happening right now, July 13th. You mentioned Craig Morgan. I have to believe that on your amazingly simple MWCD.org website, you have a calendar of events for people that maybe just want to come and see some of the awesome events that you have throughout the year. Do you have that?
We sure do. And we have
Okay.
lots of events that we're planning. Actually, this weekend at Pleasant Hill Lake Park is Christmas in July, for example. So that's Santa shows up at the beach on a jet ski. We have fireworks on Saturday night. So
That's awesome.
lots of great things. So everything from, you know, some people like to camp and be left alone, and that's totally fine. But other people, they're bringing the kids. They want to find out what's happening. Are there hikes? We have guided kayak tours. One that's very popular is called a moonlight kayak tour, where literally we're guided by the light of the moon, and you get out and you get a totally different perspective of the lake at that time of day. It's calm and it's peaceful, and you've got just the light of the moon to guide you. We have solar lights that we put on the kayaks. We have day camps for kids. We have a variety of programs that we offer, and that's going to be from, you know, little kids all the way up to adults. We have live music at all of our locations throughout the weekends. And the other thing I will note, all of our lakes have marinas on them. So if you want a day on the water, don't have your own boat, no problem. You can hook up with the marina, and they have pontoon boats, usually kayaks, sometimes paddle boards, depends on the lake. But we have all different types of rental boat opportunities. So if you want to enjoy a day in the water, that's there for you too.
So, Brandy, it sounds to me that you made a very good choice in having Muskingum be on first, as they clearly remove every single excuse you could make possible to not go there and have a great time, whether it's on the water, on the hiking trails, or at one of the amazing campgrounds. Is social media in your guys' wheelhouse? Can people find you on social media?
They sure can. So we have every single one of our lakes has its own Facebook and Instagram page. There's also a general MWCD Instagram and Facebook. We're on LinkedIn. MWCD as a general has a Twitter account. So we're all over social media. That's a great way for you to keep in touch with also the activities and events. If you are planning to come out and there's a pop-up in terms of the weather has made changes, definitely go there. We try to keep everybody up to speed in terms of if there's been an adjustment. So yeah, definitely visit our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram. Those are the best too.
Awesome. And if you're somebody, one of the 9 million bazillion followers of Brandy, and you want her autographed book, or you want to get to the rally that they're going to be hosting, do we have that date set, Brandy? And where's it going to be, since you are one of the biggest fans of the Muskingum Watershed Conservancy District?
So our rally, I think, is full, but it's the 10th through the 13th.
Well, they can maybe walk by and wave, okay?
Yeah, well, they can also just keep, you know what, they can call. I will tell you, their managers, if you ask to be, let known that a site comes available, they will do that for you. But our rally is full because it's going to be so amazing because of where it's at. And I was also thinking, like, we should get a group of Ohio road trip Facebook group people together and come do one of those moonlight kayak trips or something like that. I was just thinking, like, there's a great opportunity. So that might be a great way to meet with some people and me personally showing them a place that I have personally fallen in love with.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, well, we appreciate that. And I will mention too, one more quick thing about Pleasant Hill that makes that one unique, just because that's where Brandy's heading. That one actually has an equine camp area. So people who have horses, who want to travel with their horses, there's
got it all.
miles of horse trail in that region. So we even have campsites made for people traveling with their horse and their trailers. So
Adria, I'm confident you're going to be back on again.
I'd love
as
to.
Brandy does some of these events that are within your guys' district. Yes. And I'm looking forward to one day getting down there with my family.
Absolutely.
And, to check out everything that you guys have. So again, believe it or not, the state of Ohio does have lakes. They've got some great waterways, believe it or not. You can check them out at the Muskingum Watershed. You can find them on social, get their calendar of information. They got events that are happening today, this weekend, next weekend, probably all 52 weeks of the year. Get that. If you want to come out camping, get there. If you have some questions, contact Brandy, not me. And all in all, Adria, Bergeron, it has been a pleasure for you to take some time out of your busy day to just share how dedicated you are to helping families have lifetime memories at the Muskingum Watershed. Find out more information by going to see how easy they made it, MWCD.org. Thank you so much for being a guest on the Launching Life Journeys podcast special road trip series with Brandy Gleason. We will have you back on again, I am sure, very soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm Will Miller, and I want to thank you for tuning in to the Launching Life's Journeys podcast brought to you by Heartland RVs. Stay tuned for our next destination.